Hello, moms and daughters.
Hi.
Welcome to another episode of Dear Mom, Dear Daughter. This is the podcast, okay? We talk about all the deep, controversial, maybe uncomfortable conversations that you might want to have with your mom and daughter, and maybe you haven't had the time, energy, or guts to do it yet. Well, we're here to help you out. Today's chat is about money. Money, 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 money. This can either be the bane of your existence or it makes you excited every time around the 25th. But it's one of those really important things that is something you'd want to pass on to your daughter, right, Mama?
Yes, absolutely. And it can get very complicated very fast.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Relationship with money.
Right. So that's what we're going to talk about exactly. Your relationship with money, what the psychology of money can be, that what sort of effects it can have on your mood. Also chatting all things about financial independence and what that might look like, and the lessons that you've maybe learned about money, Mommy, that you'd like to pass on to me. I know that as a young adult, I just turned 23 very recently, and everyone is telling me that I'm an adult. I still feel like a little girl, child. But there's all these lessons I'm learning about money and savings and credit and taxes and what. A whole lot of things that they don't really teach you in LO, right?
Yes.
All I know is that I'm trying to live a soft life. I need money to just be something that can give me all the things I want. I need money to allow me to live a life that I want to live without having to feel restricted, right? So if I want to take a 3-month sabbatical to live, laugh, love, and travel the world and find myself, I want to know that I don't have to think about the money too much. But at the same time, I'm like, how do I get there? Where do I start? There's so many questions. So I'll start with this, Mama. What does money mean to you?
Sure. Yeah, that's a loaded question. Because it's important to identify, right, what money means to you. And it means a lot of different things to other people.
Yeah.
For me now, also seasonally, it may mean different things. For me now, money means freedom.
Yes.
Right? Freedom of time, freedom to make choices, to live a life that I choose to live, not I have to live. Yeah, it just represents choices and freedom.
Yes. I love that. Same as well.
And for you?
Same. I could have, like I said, it's just, I want freedom is the best way. Yeah. I want to be able to live the life of my dreams. I want to be happy. I want to be joyful without being restricted by money. I think money is one of those things that, like we'll always say, if I had 5 million rand right now, I would do A, B, C, D, you know. I want to, yeah, I think even sometimes the richest people in the world still feel restricted by money. So I think it's important to find out what that distinction really is for you, what impact it is, how important it is for you.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier the psychology of money, and it's very much rooted in your psyche, because it can become part of your identity, knowingly or unknowingly to you, either in your chase, of money, or in your beliefs about money, in even how you identify as a person. Some people identify as providers, financial providers, or breadwinner. There's that word called breadwinner. It becomes a core part of your identity. So it's really important to be aware and not let money sort of dribble you, you know. You mentioned that we always have goals that, if only I had 1 million rand, 100,000, 5 million. There's always,
and you'll find you'll have that 5 million and still feel like you want 5 million more, and not be able to do the things that you promised yourself you were going to do when you got that point. But it does this thing sometimes where you're constantly chasing the unattainable.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's really what we mean about the psychology of money, being aware what money is to you and how you identify with it. And, what pulls it has on your life, what influences, because it can't be just about how much you have, because there's always more to have. So even people who maybe earn 10,000 rands and they feel, this money is so little. There are others who are only earning 350 and they would love to have the 10,000 rands a month salary.
So true.
Even the one that earns 100,000 rands is dreaming of earning 500,000 a month or a million, because there are people that earn that. So there's always a next thing that's potentially attainable. There's always that 5 million rand. There's always us dreaming about winning the lotto. There's always, so
think of the people on I Blew It. There's the case study on wanting and wishing you have money, then you get it and it's just too much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because there isn't an awareness of the psychology of money between you and the money, where it's a relationship. What do you bring in? What do you take in, from money? And how do the two of you treat each other? Because money is actually an alive symbol. It's symbolic, because actually even these millions, we've never seen them, we've never touched them, but they exist. They exist in our minds. They exist somewhere in our psyche, really.
Yeah.
And they influence our decisions. They influence who we become. And so on in our behaviors so hugely. And it has the potential to either make you or break you. Like you mentioned, I blew it.
Right. That is so devastating. But I think the interesting thing about money is it can affect so much, right? Because while you're saying it's something that can make you or break you, it's also something that can affect relationships so much as well, whether romantic relationships, your relationships with your family, all of that. And we don't speak enough about it. Like at Life Orientation, there isn't enough awareness about how deeply money can affect you and your happiness and your mental health and your well-being and your relationships.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. I mean, in South Africa now, we've got this really disheartening phenomena of slay queens and, sugar daddy epidemic, really, really young girls, with older men because of money. And, I mean, perhaps it's not a new thing in society, but it seems to be, what's the English word?
Say the Xhosa word.
It seems to be quite rampant at the moment, and there's almost a push to sort of accept it as part of culture and society. I don't know whether through social media or what, but it's just become a thing, that's almost socially acceptable and known about, but not reprimanded, And again, it's the psychology of money. I think what I would say to those girls is, what do you want out of life? And what can money give you? And what will it take away? Because there's always a takeaway. What is it taking away? What's the cost of this thing? And what's the risk? What are the alternatives to getting these things? Still using money, but just evaluating the cost of everything and ultimately the relationship with money. And again, these conversations needs to start at home. They need to start at home, where you tell your child that you have conversations about money, as in what are your hopes and dreams? I think firstly, what's the life that you want to build for yourself, and how do you get there? And maybe sometimes there's pressures at home where maybe food is hard to come by, etc. But also letting your child know that these circumstances are temporary. How do we get out of them? This is how we can get out of them. There's still hope for a better future, and you can still build the future that you want. Yeah, so not this getting money at all costs, because then you get into all sorts of vices that are unhelpful. Not only the slave queen culture, but also gambling, which can have huge, psychological and long-term effects on someone's life. There's also then not having money, there's frustrations and to drink and get into drugs, which then creates, again, a bigger problem, around supply and money. And so much can happen just from that frustration and having a really uncontrolled relationship with money. Yes.
I think what you're saying there is so important about actually how it starts at home. And I think they could also, I think there's probably still a lot of girls or a lot of women who were taught and are being taught that a man is a plan. So the slave queen situation might not have been what your mom intended, but there's this expectation that to get money as a woman, sometimes it needs to come from a man. Maybe it's not your man, but I think the messaging should be helping and empowering girls to feel more able or capable to make money of their own, encouraging them to be financially independent and financially inept, even if they are in a marriage or in a relationship, even if there is a man in the picture. How well can you take care of yourself and fend for yourself as a woman and be responsible for your money as a woman? What is your relationship with money as an individual, not even just as a woman? So I think that's really important as well. What were some of the lessons or some of the ways that you were taught about money growing up and as a young girl?
Yeah, sure. So, I got money lessons very early on from my mom especially. So she was very enterprising. So one of the lessons is just watching her and what she modeled. And so she was a teacher, my mom, so she would work till about 2 or so. And after hours, when school, she's an entrepreneur.
Right?
Okay,
I love that. A hustler.
She was a hustler. So there was one time where she would stock clothes. She would buy clothes from Durban. There were all these Durban factories. She would buy clothes and furniture accessories, home accessories, etc. I think curtains also at a point, and she would bring to King Williamstown to sell. Okay. And she would resell those for profit. At a time, she was selling pork. So she literally would farm the pork and she would colour it and package it and and then people would
she'd sell them on credit.
And then we were sitting there with her and my brothers would do the deliveries house to house, and then also the collections month end. So and we had to help her do the accounting. So seeing her do that throughout my growing up, and then also when I was in primary school, probably later in primary, she came up with me selling peanuts and raisins at school and sweets at school.
In primary,
I was in primary, and also high school. Early on in high school, I hated it.
You did?
I hated it because I'm
selling
to my
these
friends.
I was going to say.
To my friends at school, and even at home to my brothers, I was selling.
What do you mean you were selling to your brothers?
I was. If they wanted to eat, they had to pay me. So
that is so funny. And would you be selling to your friends on credits as well?
Yes, I was. Ooh. So I had a little black book,
like an accounting book.
Yes, where I had to record people who've taken on credit, and then I have to collect, and I'm always asking my friends for money.
It was like, girl, you owe me R5. Like, you still haven't paid me R5. It's been 31 days. I'm waiting for my 5.
But
no.
So and then no, you can't have any more because you still owe me this. So Yeah, and then I would have to report to my mom at home. So it was serious. And
it was a business.
With all the money that I've made, we needed to restock and keep, and figure out what the profit is, etc. And I mean, she wasn't using this money for herself.
You didn't need the money.
No, it was really just money lessons. Retrospect.
She was serious.
She was so serious, that lady. She was actually so intentional about, what she's doing with her children. I think particularly with me, actually.
Her
I
daughter,
didn't see her
her
do
only
that
baby.
with her boys.
Yeah,
but
I love that.
She really, really was. And so those are my money lessons, very early money lessons. And I've always been enterprising.
Yes.
And I think
you're such an entrepreneur. Yeah.
I think a lot of that came from that.
Yeah.
So at any one time, even when I then got into work, I've always had side hustles. Even when I have a job, my salary was not it. I've always been a multiple income streams girl.
Yes.
Even till today. Ooh. I'm always doing multiple things with multiple incomes.
Yeah.
That's just my thinking. And I saw my mom do it, and she had me do it. And now I'm doing it on my own. And you're doing it too.
I am.
You're busy carrying multiple jobs.
I'm always in different parts. And for me though, it sounds like it was a little bit more conscious for you, was it? Because to me, I just know that I like nice things, and I'm also interested in a lot of things. I know that if I'm interested in that thing, how on earth am I going to make money out of it? Because I have to, I can't just be doing it for free, because time is money. So I think definitely, I wouldn't call myself a hustler in that way. Maybe I am, I don't know. But even as we speak now, I've got like 3 streams of income, because I've got all these different interests. But you and Daddy both are very money minded. I think from early on, I was like 10 already in managing pocket money and negotiating. I've been negotiating contracts with you and Daddy since I was knee high. Yep. Which I love. We've been making deals, closing on them, and presenting. I don't know how many PowerPoint presentations I've done trying to convince you to do A, B, C, D in exchange for that. So I think that has been really, really cool. And I think those lessons have made me more articulate, but also more just like hungry for more, not necessarily hungry for more money in my bank account, but I feel like I desire opportunities that'll will give me the freedom to live the life that I want, so that has been really empowering and really, really awesome. I'm still not great with money. Like, I will still go spend all of my money on makeup and try and, make ends meet. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to make a new opportunity out of this? I feel like I could be better with budgeting. Haven't gotten around that yet. I'm still figuring it out. But I think you've definitely paved a way where I'm thinking about how to invest in myself so that I can allow myself to live the life that I want to live.
And also reflecting what money means to you.
Yes.
What it can give you and what the cost of that, what it will take away.
Yes.
So some of the mistakes that I then made around money. So again, it's from my upbringing. A lot of these things, are from what we see in our early environment. Because as much as I saw my mom enterprising, and that's the positive, and that's what I took in, I also saw her falling into debt.
Which is a big one for South Africans.
Yes. Falling into huge debt, debilitating debt, which caused a lot of friction in the home and a lot of worry. And and I mean, eventually my mom then had to leave to work in the UK to earn a better income, and that's how she got herself out of debt. But it was painful because she had to separate from her family. My dad remained behind, and we were all here, and she went and she lived in the UK for 7 years. initially getting herself out of debt and then, building some sort of assets, etc. But it was a hard decision for her to do that. And certainly unheard of at the time,
for a
for
woman
a wife
to go off and leave everything behind.
Leave her husband, leave her young children, etc. So I think, debt is a huge issue in South Africa because I think, and it's also a fairly new thing because if you think of our grandparents, they did everything cash. Really.
Yes.
And it's again with our parents who are professionals, the teachers, the nurses, etc., who now had pay slips and could, had access to loans, bank loans, and all those kind of things. And they took those up, which was great because they could buy homes in urban areas.
Yeah, you feel like you have more access to stuff. Yeah.
But then also the phenomena of store accounts.
Oh,
you see, and my mom had this term.
And Black people love store accounts till this day.
Yeah, because we wanted nice things, and then the only way really we could access was, credit. And my mom had this term amongst her and her peers, buying power.
Yes,
buying
corporate
power.
baddies.
And this buying power was
a
credit.
Big thing.
It wasn't money that you had in your bank. It wasn't surplus from your income.
It's credit.
It was credit. And so my mom fell into that trap, took it up, and I mean, each month and she was really just filling holes. And I saw her struggle through that. There were people who would knock on doors at my house.
No.
Coming to collect, and we had to pretend we're not home. So we went through all that. Had to hush.
No.
So it got really bad. And believe it or not, and even then there was no conversation. I just saw this, and what did I do as a child? I
internalizing it.
So all these things. So I internalized the great money lessons and enterprise. I also internalized these other ones that she did. So I made the same mistakes. First time in the workplace.
No.
I kid you not. So I'm very young. I was 20 years old when I started working, and I was earning such nice money. My salary was higher than my dad's salary. Just to put it. My first salary was higher than my dad, who has been a teacher for years.
Go Queen.
So boss, I'm like, hi, I'm rolling
power.
in it.
Yeah. The buying power your mom was talking about back in the day. This is it.
And banks are calling me, offering me check account. And then it was still the checkbook. Check account with a checkbook, credit card. Yes, the bank gave me that right off.
Wow.
Credit card. I wanted a cell phone. Then it was those ones that opened. So I got a Vodacom contract. With
contracts,
minutes, nice
credits.
Phone. Immediately Edgar's account.
Yes.
So, and in my mind, this is what you do.
Yes.
When you get a job. It was normal. I had no reservations, no worry. I had no single thought about it.
Yeah.
So, and before I knew it, I was in debt. Monthly now, because honestly the car has been rolling and the different things
it's been
are rolling.
Nice.
And then now I want to buy a car. Afford in Jani? How do I not afford? And then I now have to figure that out. And I also I'm already struggling with debt in that sense and paying off things. And then, and I'm not saving.
You weren't saving?
Very importantly.
Oh.
So I'm not thinking about saving. I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm literally living hand to mouth, and that's normal to me.
Wow.
Nobody has talked to me about saving.
That's crazy because that's something that you've taught me. You've been very clear on not just saving, but investing.
Yes.
So
I was doing
you didn't even have that. Oh,
no.
wow. Yeah.
And then there's this thing also that we do in the Black community where if you have access to credit, people can ask you, they can ask to buy a car in your name.
Surely not, girl.
I kid you not.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster. You're taking credit out on behalf of other people.
Yes, you literally buy a car and you hand it over to someone and you're trusting that they will pay the monthly. Yeah, there's no written contract. There's no nothing. You're literally taking a loan because you can. You've got a pay slip and you've got a job and they can't and they're in a fix. You go to the bank, you take a loan. And then they never pay, or they pay 1 or 2 months and they never pay. Or a store account, they want to buy this, there's some event and they can't afford.
This is making my ears ring.
I've been through it personally.
Really?
Yes.
It didn't end well, did it?
So it did not end well. She never paid a single time, and I was blacklisted because then they didn't email statements. They would literally post them to your house. So she had put all the other details on mine, but it was her phone number and her address. But it was my name, my ID number, you see. So I didn't know what was going on in that account, and
it was what, a store account?
It was a store account, and I naively trusted that she would pay. Because, I mean, I judged she was even doing better than me, just that she had bad credit, you know, at the time, you know. So I never had in mind that she wouldn't or couldn't pay for this thing. And she never did. She never paid a single time. And before I knew it, I was blacklisted on credit bureaus as non-paying. And this hindered my life in ways that were so frustrating. Even when I begged and pleaded with her, she didn't pay. And I missed out on a job opportunity at a bank because of this. This is actually how I discovered that I was blacklisted, because they do background checks.
Because you were interviewing.
I was interviewing. The interview went well. There were background checks that were then done, and this thing came up.
I would throw a fit.
This is how
you had her address, most. Did you? I'm joking.
You see,
but not
also,
really.
Yeah, and this is the greater chat about boundaries and why I love your generation. I mean, I know there's no way you guys would go such a thing.
No way. Like there is no way. Yeah, there is no. And even if I did, out of the goodness of my heart, like maybe my siblings, but even then, I'm not sure. Yeah. But even if I did, best believe I want to see your bank statements. I want to be like, I'm going to be checking up constantly. And if we have to go to court, we will for my money.
Yeah, bo. And you're impacting your whole life.
Your whole life. A job that you missed out on.
Yeah.
That's very deep.
That was very normal amongst me and my friend groups, hey, to do that. Even sometimes taking it out for your parents or siblings, even taking out buying cars for siblings or cousins or aunts, etc. It was very common. A lot of us did it, and a lot of us got burnt. So don't do it, moms and daughters at home. It really just complicates relationships, and you can always find another way to help. But really, that particular way doesn't work. So I learned that lesson the hard way also. Ooh. And this was now compounded by my own credit that I was already trying to patch. And the one thing I was trying to avoid, which is getting blacklisted, I was now blacklisted by my own bad decision still of, taking out credit for someone. But yeah, so I found myself, so I'm still in my early 20s, mind you. This happened very quickly.
I don't know how you didn't just move back home and call it a day. I'm in awe of you because
I fought.
Yeah.
So yeah, eventually it took another 5 years to clear my name. And it's a long process that includes going to court and submitting documents, obviously paying off everything.
Yeah.
And even after you've paid off, that's not the end of it. You still have to, go to court to get all those defaults and judgments and all those listings removed from your name. So since then,
the store accounts
and I don't have any such thing. The only credit I have is for major assets like property.
Yes,
even a car. I mean, I've bought a car on credit, but I've been driving the same car for 8 years even now because it's so nice to not have a car installment or any credit, anything around that.
Yeah,
and I'm so conscious before making any purchase, like I'm saying, even a car, I've been in a position to buy a new one for a while, but because I'm so conscious of credit, or even if it's not credit, if I'm taking a lump sum out of my savings for that one particular thing, is it worth it? Especially a car that depreciates. So that early on lesson really helped me think about money in a very, in a give and take way.
Yes.
Very, very consciously, and what it means to me and my life and how I present. So like I'm saying, I don't chase things just because
For
I
the sake
can,
of-
because I can
yes.
afford it, and because I feel like I still get those, but this is so nice. Oh, my
Happiness.
dream car! I'm actually in a position to finally get it. All those kind of things. But I don't allow that to be at the forefront of my decision making. I really think about it fully and sit with it for a while. And even with my credit card, I have a credit card because credit cards are a good idea. Just as a tool to use and a safety net, and also you get better e-bucks when you use your credit card for everything.
You're FMB's biggest fan over here.
I am, and if there's a problem, it's always better to use your credit card for payments, even online. It's a safer tool and all of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So even when I want to buy my credit card, I put in money into my credit card. I don't use the credit. I put in cash, and that is what comes out. It's actually my money, not the bank's money. That's how very conscious and wary of credit I've become. And beyond credit and just living hand to mouth like what I was before, I'm now conscious of saving and investing, like you said.
Love that.
And all of that really have come from understanding money and how I relate to it, and dictating the relationship with money, telling money, hey, me and you, we are here like this. This is what you do for me. This is what I do. This is what I get.
Yes.
And that's that. And you're going to work for me in this way, in this way, in this way. And you're not going
be
to
my
dribble
master.
me. Yeah,
yes.
Dribble me any which way you like it had done initially. And that's really helped. And really, I will say the shift has been in my mind, because I had so much money and liquid money even when I started working.
Yes.
Like I'm saying, I was fortunate enough to get into a job where my salary was good, etc. But I wasted that opportunity, because I was blind to money.
Wow. I'm taking notes as you're saying all of this. And I think this is why I'm not getting chills. I'm like, this is why it's so important for us to actually have these conversations, because I actually didn't know. I think you told me the story about how you'd gotten blacklisted one time, but the journey of it, I'd never realized and I'd never known. And I also didn't know how this is something that goes way back to even from when you grew up and what you were absorbing and what you were learning, just watching those around you. So that is really fascinating. And I'm so grateful that that you can share that with me. I'm excited to see what life will look like when I'm properly a young adult and independent and trying to figure life out for myself. But I think you've built a really awesome foundation for me where money doesn't feel like the be all or end all. But I think the fascinating thing is you don't really understand what it'll do for you or with you until you're fully independent and fully just sort of figuring it out on your own. But I'm grateful that you've instilled in me, both you and Daddy instilled in me, that it's all up to me. I feel very empowered as a woman, that I know that I can fend for myself. Sounds like we're in the wilderness, but that I can fend for myself and I can get all of these things that I expect from me. I can have that financial freedom. I can create a life for myself, independent of any man or any other person that I want. It feels attainable and it feels possible. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm taking all of your money lessons with me, because I'm scared for out there in the real world when I need to be thinking about credit scores and whatnot, because no one teaches you that at school.
Yeah.
So
here's another thing that maybe I haven't told you before. Watching you, I sometimes worry, because I feel you are spendthrift. And I worry, and I'm like, and I feel this has been a conflict between your dad and I, because your dad is spendthrift.
He's the same. We like nice things.
Yes.
I want it, I got it. So that scares me as well. Where I'm like, I've been always trying to, even with my like pocket money or my allowance during uni or whatnot, and the money that I'm earning now, I'm like, I have these plans that I want to save. Like I'll have a goal for something that I want to save for. So if it's a trip with my friends, or if it's just to acquire this amount of money in my savings, and I'll try and budget, but
yeah,
it's tough.
But I think you're not doing too badly with it. So for me, it's scary because I was the complete opposite, which also wasn't healthy. In that I never wanted to spend. I think also, again, growing up, money was like a big thing, you know, where you try hold on to it as much as you can, but not in saving, funny enough, because nobody was saving.
So what are you?
Patty, you
what are you
had to
holding?
be
Clutching your pennies,
clutching and being, you know, really thoughtful about what you're spending it on, but still you're spending it. So it's very weird. And like I'm saying, even early on with my first job, I wasn't left with any money. I was spending it, but somehow I was scared of spending it, but I was spending it. It's this unconscious relationship that I'm talking about.
Interesting.
Where you're not intentional and you're not the one in control. The money is the one in control. And it's with, you know, getting married to your dad, where, you know, marriage is such a mirror, right?
Yeah.
Such a reflection. So much comes out in marriage.
Yeah.
So I would get so frustrated with him because this guy was a spender. And I'm like, we've got goals. We need to save. Look what you bought. And he loves shopping and all the things that I knew as bad, you know. And like, so extreme. And, you know, traveling, I wanted to travel, but it felt too indulgent. So I wouldn't put money to travel, but then I wouldn't have money anyway. So what am I spending my money on? I might as well have traveled.
You might as well have traveled. Yes.
But I wasn't doing any of those things. And your dad introduced me that you've got to release money for it to come back. Like, it's okay. It's a tool. That's literally what it is. Money is a tool for you to do the things that you want, for you to live the life that you want. And it's really him that cemented that lesson for me. That money is a tool. You control it.
Yeah.
You get it to do what you want it to do.
Yes.
You know, and the power is within you. So him and I then had to sort of balance each other,
because now he's also doing too much.
Yeah, well, he's doing too much and I'm over here, you know, opposite ends of the spectrum. So we've had to balance it out. And I mean, you've had front experiences to all of this.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, your dad was the guy that would hide shopping bags. So in our house, it was the opposite.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, he'd have new sunglasses every week just because where the other pair went, I just gave him away. Like, I felt like I needed. He would hide shopping bags from you because you were the police of the spending police.
And also giving out money, dashing.
Yes. He would be dashing.
This in our savings, because I was in my savings and investment era. I'm like, what this could have done for us in future, you know, like, so I had to ease up a bit and actually enjoy what money can offer and live the life that I want. And so I still worry when I see it with you. I'm like, too much of this guy went in and not enough of me.
No, him and I are the same, because I'm also the type, I'm very delulu in a lot of things in my life. I'm just a huge optimist. I feel like I manifest a lot of things. Good things are always coming for me. Like you said just now, you spend money and to receive more money. You know, I am the manifestation of money. Thank you very much. So I'm delusional in that way, where I'm thinking about how this money is going to come back. But I also know that I really want this new lip gloss with my little student allowance. I want this new Fenty lip gloss and I'm going to buy it. I probably shouldn't, but somewhere, somehow the money is going to come back. And usually it does. Funny saying that though, I might sound like a little princess and I just go ask daddy for some money. I hate asking my parents for money. I don't do it. I don't like it, but the money will come back. And it does. So I think that's also hence my many interests and income streams. So I was like, I like getting free cosmetics and everything. I started doing content where I was getting free skincare for brands. I would literally ask them. I'd ask them to do a trade exchange and I'd make them cute little videos. It was called user generated content. I stumbled on it by mistake. I was like, this is lovely. So I was getting my skincare for free. Just make my cute little videos. I was getting
tens of thousands
of your money. Yes.
Yeah.
But I knew that I like these things and I must have it. So that was kind of my way of finding it and getting it. And it's not physical money and dollars in my bank account, rands in my bank account, but it's me understanding that I have the freedom to get the things that I want. And I don't have to clutch onto the pennies. I have some lessons to learn about budgeting. I probably should have internalized a little bit more of your clutching pennies, but now I feel like you like things more than you like to admit also. So I feel like you've also acclimated to mine and daddy's money habits in a way, but comfortably so.
Yes. So, I definitely have learned to live like exactly what I'm saying. It's a tool to live the life that I want.
That you dream of. Yeah.
And to indulge myself now and again and not be so scared to. I think that was the thing. But I think you're doing well with it because you don't ask us for money. So even if you'll sit hungry for the rest of the month or so, you know you're managing your budget.
I will eat dry. I will literally, I remember being a student is so funny, but rather than just, because this would probably, I would tell you after, be like, oh, it was so funny. I was eating, what was I even eating? I would literally eat like dry pasta or whatever, because pasta is what, 27, I'd budget, okay, 27 rand on a pasta. I can probably get a single avocado for this much. And then I'll get a thing of like, of fish, because it still needs to be a balanced diet, okay?
Get tuna fish.
I'll get tuna fish and then I can make it either a salad, like pasta salad, or I can make, and I'll just be eating that and be budgeting it small. Or I'll get bread.
You see,
and
you're
then
still
I'm like,
counting over avocados that are 100 rand. You also have a very sophisticated palate.
No, the single avocados are like, you can get for like 8 rand. At Food Lovers Market, they'd be a special.
Oh, okay.
So you can get single avocados for like 6 rand, 8 rand, whatever.
Yeah.
So you can still, because I still must get the nice things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my palate is the way that it is.
It is.
I'm a bougie girl. I was born that way. I don't know what happened. Because it's
really
not even
were.
like always had nice money to be eating, but
Yeah.
I like nice things.
Yeah, and your dad and I and my mom have talked about this about you actually, even before you were, internalizing any lessons.
Yes.
You just were like that. You were always this proper princess. Nobody taught you. You had a very sophisticated palate. You were eating brie cheese, which I couldn't even stomach. Brie cheese, blue cheese, all types of cheeses, which your gran even exposed you to. Living in the UK, and you loved it, you enjoyed it, and then we come back home in South Africa, and now must buy these expensive cheeses because this child is asking for brie and she's 4 years old. I'm like, excuse me, pardon, you've always been just so sophisticated, and your dad and I always laugh, like we'd sit, before you could even read a menu, you would choose the most expensive thing on the menu. Even till today, even a menu with no pricing, the one that will appeal to you the most is the most expensive thing on the menu. Every single time, and this has been happening since you were a child. It baffles us so very much.
I don't know where it comes from.
And everything from your nails. I mean, I've got a regular nail lady. No, that one doesn't this. And then you'll go pay for nails 3 or 4 times the amount I pay for nails. And your hair, I mean, it's just everything about you. You're such high maintenance.
I'm a high maintenance queen.
You were a baby.
I don't know what that's about, but my taste, this is why I need lots of money.
Yes.
I need to live the soft life. And I understand that I love that I know that I can do that for myself.
Yes.
That is such an incredible feeling. But yeah, Yeah.
And
we'll see
also
how it
your
goes
pie
with
chart.
budgeting.
Yes, exactly. Have your pie
Yes.
chart. I've already said to you, when you do have a formal employment
Debit
and a
orders
salary, you are
into
getting
investment
a debit order
accounts.
into a tax-free investment account.
Yes, my queen.
And also some other stuff.
Okay.
And the normal savings before you move out of the house. And I mean, we've already said those. And yeah, and I'm sure you'll take it up. I don't see you not taking it up.
Right?
Yeah, even with the spending and living your best life.
Yes. Okay. I think we'll be okay. We can only hope and pray. But I love that we can have these conversations for real, because I feel like there's a lot of mistakes that you've shared with me today. Thank you. That you've made. And I feel empowered just hearing your lessons and the things and the mistakes that you've made. I feel empowered from knowing that, because hopefully now won't be any mistakes that I'll make or that I'll have to face on my own, you know? So that's really lovely. Thank you for sharing with me, Mommy.
You're welcome. And moms and daughters, we do encourage you to have these conversations about money. You know, you may take it lightly and think that your children know about money. They have information where they read. But again, talking about something really sensitizes people to it. It really cements the knowledge and it makes it real in your mind, and you become conscious of it as you navigate money in whichever way or form. So it's really important to just talk about it, even if you don't have to have the answers.
Yes.
Just reflect on your own experiences. Have your child also reflect and just, talk about it.
Yeah.
And again, if you feel out of depth to have the conversation, look for resources such as this podcast. There are a lot of women's events, and I've seen that money is always a big component that's talked about. And I absolutely love that. Take your daughter there, take yourself there, to such events and just hear.
Just listen. I'm really excited. We are together, are helping you raise empowered daughters who can make some incredible financial decisions for yourself. So I hope you've learned something from today's conversation, and we'd love to learn from you as well. So drop us a message either in the comments or on our hotline. The number is on the screen. What are some money lessons that you've learned, or some lessons that you wish you had been taught about money, about debt, credit, all those scary words, and financial independence as a woman as well? We would love to hear and learn from you, moms and daughters, because we do not have all the answers. So until then, we shall see you next time. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Goodbye.
Bye.